Every finals YouTuber has a tier list, so I figured, hey, why not throw my hat in the ring? I'm back, the Revolver King. And I thought it'd be fun to make a tier list for the medium weapons. I've mainly played medium through my almost 900 hours, Jesus Christ, of the finals, and I've played with many of the top players in the game, so I thought I'd have a pretty good idea of what's the best weapons to use for medium. And I want to give a quick shout out to the YouTuber slash streamer Apo, because he made this tier list and saved me a lot of time, and I didn't want to do it. So everyone together now. Thank you, Apo. Now that that's out of the way, let's jump into it. The Revolver. I think the Revolver is in the best spot it's ever been. Since the model doesn't dominate the meta anymore, the Revolver found a nice spot in this season, and it's more viable than ever. Obviously I got some bias because it's my favorite weapon, but I can't deny it has some shortcomings. It's not the best weapon for medium, but if we're ranking how fun each weapon is to use, this would easily be S tier for me. There's a shit ton of playstyles you can use with this weapon. You can be aggro if you're confident enough to hit your shots, or be a really good support player with this thing, since you can hit a few shots, get some damage in, and pull back and heal and support your team. You can win 1v1s against other medium players too, but it's a lot harder when you're in the open. Most of the time an assault rifle user will kill you because they're faster time to kill, unless you hit a lucky headshot. So utilizing cover and other gadgets like grenades help this weapon a lot. You can get really good with this weapon though, and still compete in high ranked lobbies, so this is gonna go in the A tier for me. Not quite S, but a lot more viable this season. Now let's talk about the AKM. This gun with the red dot sight is so much more fun to use after they fixed the visual recoil. After your first few shots, this thing has the easiest spray control when compared to any other ARs by far in this game. You can laser people with it, however the laser is a bit weak and its damage limits its potential. Don't get me wrong, you can still dish out a ton of damage, but more often than not, you'll get someone down really low HP, and then they turn a corner and get away. However, it's a very satisfying gun to use, and it can be used in high ranked lobbies still. It's right in the middle, not amazing, but not terrible. When I want to turn my brain off and shoot people, this is my go-to weapon. Also, if you're new to this game, I suggest using this weapon, because it's a lot more forgiving than the other ARs in the game. But like I said, it fits right in the middle for me, so it's gonna go into B tier. I don't know if this is a hot take or not, but the Serus is actually pretty good and such a funny weapon. Yes, it would benefit heavily from a buff, but there's a right way to use this weapon, and when you use it correctly, you can fucking compete, man. I think this weapon is in a decent place, believe it or not. I don't want to see a buff to this weapon. Imagine all your lobbies running the Cerberus. That would get so tiring. It'd be like the model meta all over again. And yes, at any range combat, this thing is horrible. It does absolutely nothing at range. But pairing this thing with the heal beam and something like a glitch mine is a great support combo. When I want to mess around and still win games, I use this weapon because I'm still able to get kills and dish out a good amount of damage when compared to the other meme weapons the medium has. Just go full support mode with this thing and your teammates will love you for it. Since it only has 3 bullets before you have to reload, it encourages you to play so differently from every other weapon. When you get in close, the damage is actually so good. Lights practically stand no chance against it close range. And you can kill mediums pretty well too, honestly. It just comes down to whether or not you get this weapon or not. Once you figure it out, it's actually pretty damn good. I would throw this thing into B tier. Maybe not as good as the AKM, but pretty damn close for me. Moving on to the CL40. What have they done to you? They completely butchered this weapon. It used to be good. No, it used to be bad. Then it was good. Then it was bad. Then it was like really good. And now it's just bad. They really fucked this weapon up. You cannot do anything with this weapon unless you hit them directly on. Otherwise, it does not do damage. This thing will not do enough damage to kill anyone unless you're hitting them dead on or right at their toes. Sure, you can snag a kill here and there, but if you're against the medium with like a Famas, FCAR, AK, right in the open, they'll probably kill you a lot faster than you can get off like 2 shots. It's just not good. It's a bit fun trolling with it, but it can't compete. It's garbage. It's going in the garbage tier. I'm sorry. They need to do something with this weapon to make it a lot better. I don't have a solution. Just make it better. It's so ass. I am not good with the dual blades. I just want to put that out there. I don't think it's a very good weapon. Melee weapons overall for medium have been lacking. I really like the concept of this weapon, and I've seen people do decent with it. It got a buff this season, but I don't think it made it viable still. You can do well with it, but I'm not good with this thing at all. It's too inconsistent for me, but it can be fun. I'm glad you can actually catch up to people when you're chasing them, since if you're close enough, you'll lunge towards them, but unfortunately, it's just not good enough. I'm gonna put it in the niche section of this tier list, because I've seen people do decent with it, but it ain't me. And even the people decent with it would be doing a lot better with other weapons, let's be real. The Famas. Man, high ranked lobbies, mediums are running the Famas, let me tell ya. And for good reason, it's a really good weapon. It rewards accuracy like crazy. If you hit all 3 of your bursts, man, this thing shreds lights, mediums, heavies, doesn't matter. This thing is really good. The thing about this weapon is that it's good at both close and medium range. Not so much long range, but none of the ARs are that good long range anyways. Close range targets make it easy for you to hit all 3 of your burst shots. In medium range, if you got the aim, it's insane. I'm thinking honestly this is going to be an S tier weapon for the medium. If you can hit your shots, this thing is insane. And it's the only weapon I can consistently kill someone in a 1v1 situation in an open area, where you just rely on aim, and I have the Famas, and I usually just kill them. I really like the F-car. It's such a good weapon. It's not as good as the Famas for me, but it's a lot more enjoyable to use, and I actually use it a lot more than the Famas. I really don't use the Famas often. I get a lot more satisfaction using the F-car because it's a really good weapon and it dishes out a ton of damage. Shooting a fully automatic rifle feels a lot better than shooting a burst rifle. That's the main reason I use the F-car more. But the damage is almost comparable to the Famas, and the reload time is really good as well. The same thing with the Famas goes for this weapon. It rewards accuracy since there isn't as many bullets as the AKM. I think it's better than the Revolver, and it's a lot easier for people to pick up. So I'm gonna have to put it in the A tier, right beside the Revolver. After the Model 1887 nerf, there's been a lot fewer people using it, thank god. But it's still a really strong weapon. If you can work in some melee hits with your shots, you can take down any class pretty quickly. There are certain maps where this weapon performs better than most of the other ones. Any of the closer range maps like Fortune Stadium, Las Vegas, or Bernal, you're gonna do pretty well in. And honestly, most engagements in general in the finals are pretty close range, so this weapon is still very powerful. If you play with Dematerializer and get in people's faces, you can still do really well. I don't think it's quite S tier anymore, but it's easily an A tier weapon. I put it between the Revolver and F-car, I think. The Pike has seriously fallen from grace. Almost nobody uses this weapon anymore, but it's still not terrible. The main thing I don't like about this weapon is how it encourages mostly solo play. Unless you're with your team defending a cash out to deal damage from longer ranges, it's hard to actually play with your team when you're attacking. You don't want to get in close with this weapon because it puts you at such a disadvantage. Medium to long ranges is where this weapon excels, and it's hard to do that when your team is pushing them and you're at longer ranges popping off shots not really doing much. The damage is still decent on this weapon though, and it's not completely unusable, but it needs a rework for sure. This is a C tier weapon for me. Now the final weapon, the Riot Shield. I left this one last because I don't know how I feel about this weapon. I mean, it's not good, but I don't know if it's niche either. I don't see a lot of people doing really well with it. It's just the most annoying thing ever. It's so annoying to deal with. I've played some games and done okay. Like, I've done better with the Riot Shield than the dual blades, but I'm not sure that actually makes it better than the dual blades. They're both not very good. I've seen people do well with both of them, so you know what? I'm gonna throw it in niche with the dual blades. The Riot Shield is something else, man. Well, here's my final medium class weapon tier list. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. This was completely subjective, and I know a lot of you are gonna have different opinions, and that's good. I want to hear them in the comments below. Let me know if you agree with my choices or disagree and why. I appreciate you watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video and consider subscribing for more finals content. I'll see you next time.
Oh my god, it worked! Oh my god!
The match has its first team wipe.
Bro, what? What'd you
What
do?
just happened?